Hello everybody, my name is Worobones and welcome back to my Diablo IV first playthrough. In this episode we're going to be working more toward the Fractured Peaks portion of the campaign, and along the way we're keeping an eye out for other forms of content to get into, such as dungeons, side quests, and other events in the world. And if you remember at the end of the last episode, we just completed the Forbidden City dungeon, and just outside the entrance to the dungeon we actually found ourselves another Altar of Lilith. This one I believe gave strength, and I'm not sure how useful that is for other classes. Truth be told, at this time I only knew that willpower was helpful for me because it amplified my overpower damage, and overpower damage amplified my pulverized damage, which is just something that kind of coincides with my build. I will say though, there are 160 of these altars, so that's another one down. I'm happy with that. Just a little farther ahead, we reach a side quest location to look for a man named Luskus. He had just extorted a merchant in Menestad for protection and took a payment of gemstones from him. The merchant asked us to locate Luskus and ask for the gems back, to which Luskus was not so willing. Just after defeating Luskus, we reached level 12, and I decided to use the skill point to unlock a third skill, that being Earthen Bulwark. This is a defensive skill that when you use, it gives you a barrier for a few seconds, the barrier being a percentage of your base health. There are other modifiers added to Earthen Bulwark later that make it even better, but for the moment it's a really nice, quick defensive cooldown.
So, the deed is done. Excellent. I knew you would prove worthy of my trust.
Oh, we get some XP and a skill point. Cool. That's actually really cool. And there we go, we just received our first renown reward from the Fractured Peaks, giving us 3,000 gold and a skill point. This is the main reason why it's definitely worth doing other content besides just rushing the campaign, because this gives me an extra level essentially. I'm able to put an extra point into Enhanced Earthen Bulwark, which while Earthen Bulwark is active, it makes me unstoppable. Unstoppable is actually a status effect that makes me immune to crowd control. So basically I cannot be stunned or slowed or anything like that. And the best part is, if I'm currently stunned and I have the ability off cooldown, if I press it, it breaks me out of the CC. So I would say it's safe to say that Earthen Bulwark has become my oh shit button. Oh, that's an NPC. Wait a minute, he's getting killed! Literal bot, he's just running into enemies. Okay. Vacant halls. Oh, pull rats!
I'm out of spirit. I do not have enough spirit. I'm low on spirit.
Ding. Counts as fortified. Damage characters take 10% reduced damage if you become fortified when you have more fortified than current life. Okay. Oh, so the fortify is like an overheal, basically. Oh, there's so many champions right here. Oh, so I guess I basically have to keep a two-hand and a one-hander, just to be certain of whether or not the, one weapon is better than the other. Oh, shit. That didn't appear for me for a second. As we continue to progress through the game, every rare that we find like this is going to be increasingly more valuable as time goes on. Getting the extra stats alone is only going to make the early game easier as we continue to replace all of the common and magic items we have equipped. And as we begin to fine-tune these stats, it's only going to get better. I'll carry this block. That's so funny, dude. Upon reaching level 14, I decided to start putting some of my skill points into passive nodes, the first one being Heart of the Wild. Pulverized Bear Druid does have a lot of resource problems early on, and this does give me a little bit of an increased capacity for Spirit, but the main reason I'm taking the point is because I want to go for Abundance right after. Abundance makes it so my basic skills generate more Spirit. This is definitely welcome for the early game to help me roll out extra Pulverizes, but as time goes on, there are going to be even better passives I'll unlock in my tree.
I'm not ready.
What the fuck is happening? We turn into Kennen. Oh, an axe. That was pretty nutty.
I cannot carry anymore.
Oh, I'm like out of inventory space. Yep. Rare Trash. Man, that's a title. Tomb Lord. So it's actually like a silent circle. That's what it is.
Wait a minute. I'm out of spirits.
Oh my god. That was actually tough, holy. Or at least it took a little bit of effort. I like that run though. That was a fun run. After a successful completion of Mercy's Reach, we left the dungeon and crossed over the border into Scotland, where we would continue working on the campaign. Which I want to briefly apologize. I think there were a couple of times I said we were doing the Fractured Peaks first. In reality, there were times we alternated back and forth, and I honestly forgot this was the direction we went first in earlier commentary. We wandered around Eldheim Keep for a little bit asking for information, until we found Donan in the upper parts of the Great Hall, along with his son, Yorin. Speak with him? Okay.
This discussion is not over. Is there something you need?
I have a message from Lorath.
Wow. There's a name from another life. Has the old man finally come down from the mountain?
With a warning. An ancient evil walks the land. The demon, Lilith.
And you know this. How? Did you and Lorath discover something of interest?
Perhaps this is all connected to what you saw, Father.
Yes. I was just getting to that.
He's sussy as fuck.
There was an incident at my estate. Probably best if we discuss it there. Go and have a look around for yourself. I'll meet you shortly, and then we can talk more. As for your request, get to Braystag. And be careful. Stay close to the other Knights Penitent.
I will. Don't worry.
Just outside of Edelheim, we saw a marker for another side quest, which was already on our way towards Donut's estate, so we made our way there. A fellow druid asked for our help in finding runic tablets from local wildlife. We agreed to help him, and as we cleared some nearby backs of mobs, we reached level 15. This is a big milestone for Diablo IV classes, as it unlocks our unique class quest, which once completed grants additional powers to enhance our character's strength and gameplay. However, in order to complete my class quest, I must first conquer the stronghold, Turdulra. To briefly explain what a stronghold is, there are points of interest on the map that you progress through, completing a few small objectives, and defeating a boss at the end, similar to dungeons. Once you complete a stronghold, other features of the area may unlock, such as NPCs, new dungeons, merchants, and other things I'm sure I'm forgetting. Because my class quest was tied to the stronghold, we made our way there ASAP. On the way there, we completed another world event, which rewarded us with our first gem. These are items that can be socketed into our gear to give us extra stats. For example, this crude ruby gives us maximum life if we put it into our armor. The armor does need to have a socket in order to place a gem in it, though. There are 7 total gems in the game, all having different levels of quality. I won't be going over every stat that each gem gives, but I do plan to mostly stick with rubies for the time being, as they grant me more life in my armor, as well as overpower damage in my weapons. And right after completing the world event, we found another surprise. Goblin, goblin. Let's go, dude. That's our first treasure goblin. As you saw, we found ourselves a treasure goblin, and like I said before, in the early game, there were so many random things that popped up for us. It was really hard not to veer off and check them out. But anyways, treasure goblins are rare monsters that have a lot of HP, and if you kill them in time, they drop some gold and a few items. Otherwise, they teleport away. I was particularly happy to see them because I loved them in Diablo 3. After continuing for a little longer, we reached the stronghold, Turdulra.
What's going on?
Turdulra will not fall to you, Astaroth.
Azeroth?
Something demonic has trapped the spirits here. I will end it.
Everything is true.
Oh, this guy's level 17.
Thanks.
Okay, that one seemed really easy compared to the other one. Return to the Great Oak. Okay. I thought this guy's name was Bagel Moth for a second. Where's he going? Why Why is he just doing marathons randomly? Holy dude. And there we go. With the demon defeated, we are officially able to conquer Turdulra. All we have to do is rekindle the Wanderer's Shrine, and peace will be fully restored to the location. Now we are able to start the Druid quest. The reason we needed to come here is because the spirits of Turdulra were crying out in pain. The Druids here aren't sure how to help them, but they tell us to seek out the aid of the spirit Gathlin. We are instructed to look for his shrine and honor him, as he may communicate with the spirit of Turdulra. During this time, Infinity also got their Rogue quest, to which we decided to temporarily go solo, so we could work on it ourselves and then resume our journey together later. While we were adventuring, we did hit level 17, and I decided to use the skill point to unlock Trample. This will largely serve as a mobility skill, however, it also has a small knockback applied to it, so you can hit enemies and it'll push them away from you if you need to get out of places. After arriving at Gathlin's shrine, we quickly paid respects and called forth the Spirit Lord. The deer! Gathlin, where have you gone?
Druid, you remember the spirits after all. I am bound to a carcass, rotting in the grove of fame. Cut me free.
So we gotta go up here. Okay. I'm just getting to this part, so we'll have to see. Something cool. I recognized every word of that as a druid. Oh, you got the combo points. Nice. Skull of the Spirit Lord. Jumping ahead a little bit, we returned to Turdulra with the skull and presented it to the druids there. We mounted it just above the altar of the Stag Lord, and with that, our druid quest is completed.
Your den is safe once more.
Now that our druid quest is completed, we are able to unlock spirit boons from Turdulra. Doing so requires items called Druidic Spirit Offerings. These drop randomly when you kill mobs around the world, and will need a total of 400 in order to unlock every spirit boon. Currently we only have 91, and the first boons I plan to unlock were from the Snake Spirit. However, I must present a total of 100 at once in order to unlock theirs. In the future, I plan to go over how the passives work a little more, but for the moment, I'm going to call the video here, as it's running a little long. We've also reached a point in the game where I feel I've explained enough of the game's core mechanics, where I'm going to start primarily highlighting key moments that happen during our time playing, so the videos take on less of a tutorial structure and more of a highlight of our character progression. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I appreciate everyone for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, as well as leave any comments down below to let me know what you thought. You could also go over and follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Worobones, if you want to catch me live. Link is in the description. Until next time, have a good day.